You know, every single day, there are more mouths to feed on this planet. But our farms, they're not getting any bigger. So, how in the world do we feed a growing population without overwhelming the planet? Well, the answer might just be growing in the digital world. Today, we're going to dig into how artificial intelligence is becoming one of the most crucial new tools in farming, totally transforming how we grow our food from the soil on up. Okay, so here's our game plan. First up, we're going to tackle the sheer scale of the challenge we're facing. Then, we'll get into how AI is actually stepping up to help and what that really means for the future of food. But, it's not all smooth sailing. We'll also look at the real world hurdles we need to overcome to make sure everyone, and I mean everyone, benefits from this revolution. And to wrap it all up, we'll talk about what needs to happen next. All right, let's start with the big picture here. And honestly, it's a huge one. The massive, unprecedented challenge our global food system is up against. Really, it all boils down to this one single critical question. This isn't some abstract problem for scientists to think about. It affects you, it affects me, every single time we eat. And the need for an answer? It's getting more urgent every single year. So get this. Here's the number that really puts everything into perspective. By 2050, we're looking at nearly 10 billion people on this planet. I mean, to put that in perspective, that's like adding the entire population of India and the United States to the world in just a couple of decades. It's wow. And to feed all those people, we're going to need to grow about 70% more food. And here's the kicker. That means we can't just keep doing what we've always done. Business as usual, it's just not going to cut it. We need a fundamental leap forward in how we farm. Now, this kind of leap isn't actually new. Humanity has gone through several world-changing agricultural revolutions, from the very first domestication of plants, to the invention of the plow, to the green revolution of the 20th century. Each one completely changed the world. And today, right now, we are standing at the dawn of the next one, the precision agriculture revolution. And its engine, it's AI. So what does this new revolution actually look like out in the fields? To figure that out, we're going straight to the source material for this explainer. So, just so you know, everything we're about to talk about isn't just pulled out of thin air. It's all based on a massive scientific review that looked at all the most important, up-to-date research in this field. This isn't just one person's opinion, it's the result of a huge collective effort by researchers to map out what's really going on. And believe me, when I say thorough, I mean thorough. They started with this huge pool of 700 articles from the world's top scientific databases. Then they got really strict, filtering them down, for quality and relevance, until they were left with the 104 most significant studies out there. So yeah, we're really looking at the cutting edge here. Okay, before we get into the weeds, let's make sure we're on the same page with a key term: precision agriculture. Basically, it's all about moving away from treating an entire field like it's one big uniform thing. Instead, you use technology to give tiny sections of a farm, or heck, even individual plants, exactly what they need right when they need it. No more, no less. Super efficient. So where is AI actually making a difference? I mean, what jobs is it being hired for out in the field? Let's break it down. Now, this is really interesting because it just lays it all out so clearly. You can see right away what the top priorities are. Look at that big bar on the left. The number one area of research, by a long shot, is disease and pest detection. After that, it's all about making our water use smarter. And then this one's fascinating. It's helping us actually design better crops right from their DNA. Okay, let's dig into that number one application. The easiest way to think about it is like a digital plant doctor. It uses a type of AI called deep learning, which is kind of inspired by how our own brains work with neural networks. These AI systems can look at pictures from drones or cameras and spot the tiniest signs of disease, way before a human eye ever could. That means farmers can act fast and potentially save a whole crop. Next up, smarter watering. This is a big one. So instead of just watering on a fixed schedule, like every Tuesday or whatever, AI uses data from sensors in the soil and the latest weather forecasts to figure out precisely how much water a plant needs and exactly when to give it. This can save just incredible amounts of water, which, as we all know, is one of our most precious resources. And this right here, this shows you the incredible long-term potential. AI isn't just managing the crops we have today, it's helping us create the crops of tomorrow. It can sift through massive amounts of genetic data to predict which plants will have the best traits, like being resistant to drought. This just dramatically speeds up the old-school traditional breeding process. So, what's actually powering all these incredible tools? Well, it's mainly two different flavors of AI. As you can see here, the most common one is called supervised machine learning. Just think of it like this. You're teaching a computer by showing it thousands and thousands of examples. This picture is a healthy leaf, this one has a fungus. After a while, it learns to spot the difference all by itself. Right behind that is deep learning, that more complex method we just talked about, which is fantastic for things like image recognition. Okay, but, and this is a big but, all this amazing technology comes with a serious reality check. There are some very real challenges out there creating what you could call a digital divide right in the middle of our farm fields. The authors of this study we're looking at, they really put it perfectly. The potential is absolutely massive. But, and I'm quoting here, a balanced, inclusive approach is essential. What does that really mean? It means if we're not careful, all the benefits of this incredible revolution will only go to a handful of large, wealthy farms, leaving millions and millions of smaller farmers way behind. And these are the hurdles they're talking about. I mean, this technology is expensive. It costs a lot to buy, and it costs a lot to maintain. It often needs super reliable, high-speed internet that, let's be honest, just doesn't exist in many rural areas around the world. There's a huge skills gap. You can't just hand this stuff to someone and expect them to use it. And for the world's smallholder farmers, the very people who produce a huge chunk of our food, these tools might as well be from another planet. And this table just brilliantly illustrates the gap we have to bridge. On one side, you have what AI needs to thrive: tons and tons of data, rock-solid internet, and expert users. And on the other side, you have the reality for so many farms: limited data, spotty or no connectivity, and a lack of technical training. Closing this gap? Well, that's the central challenge we're facing. So, how do we fix this? How do we move forward? Let's wrap up by looking at the path ahead, the seeds we need to plant today to make sure this revolution really works for everyone. The researchers lay out a pretty clear four-step approach. First, we've got to build AI models that can actually work with limited data, not massive data sets. Second, we have to design tools that are super user-friendly, tools a small farmer can actually pick up and use. Third, and this is so important, we have to integrate this new tech with the generations of traditional farming knowledge that farmers already have. And finally, above all else, we have to prioritize making it affordable and accessible for everybody. Because really, at the end of the day, this isn't just about getting a bigger harvest next season. The ultimate goal here is so much bigger. It's about building a global food system for the next 100 years, one that's more resilient, more sustainable, and can securely feed every single person on this planet, no matter what challenges the future throws at us. And that leaves us with this final, really powerful question. We know AI can make our farms smarter. The technology is there, it works. The much bigger challenge, though, lies with us. Can we be smart enough and intentional enough to make sure the benefits of this incredible revolution are actually fair for all?